I was having a conversation with my dad following being laid off from my job due to COVID implications. And, if you follow me on social media, you know that I've started a side hustle months ago. And when I got laid off, I am just kind of taking that as my sign that it's my time to take a leap of faith. It's time to really put the work in to try to make my side hustle be like my main hustle. And I hadn't told my dad this. I was scared to tell my dad this. I finally opened up to him about it, and we had a really long conversation about everything. And he still doesn't really get it, which I think after talking to a couple of my other friends, it was clear that their dads have similar viewpoints. So I'm sure that me and my two friends don't have the only dads with the same viewpoints. So if if you have anyone in your life that wants you to get a regular 9 to 5 and work for someone else and do something that you don't necessarily love just to have a stable income, and you feel it in your bones that there's something more than that, then pursue what you feel in your bones. Like, don't let other people, even your parents, do not let anyone guide your life for you. I've made this mistake before. I wanted to be a great white shark researcher. When I first entered college, my sophomore year, my dad sat me down and was like, this isn't really a very practical way. This isn't going to make you money. This isn't going to be stable, blah, 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 blah. Fast forward like 8 or 10 years, and I see people that do that successfully. And I'm like, God damn it. I knew I was called to that. I knew that I could have done that if I had just continued on that path and not listened to what my dad said or what my other family members said or what anyone said. So, and I just want to share something from our conversation the other day too. I mentioned to my dad, I know that I can do anything that I set my mind to because I've already done it. I moved to Colorado with no job, and I said I want to be an R&D cannabis genetics scientist. That is a very niche job. For anyone that doesn't know, it's not a common job. And I made that happen. It took a little bit of time after I moved here, but I made it happen. And what my dad took from me saying that was, yeah, but that failed. And I think, and my focus in that story, and like even telling him that, was, no, I set my mind to something and I made it happen, and I learned a shit ton at that job. And now I can take those lessons with me into the new work that I do. All my dad heard from that was, you failed. That job was a failure. And there's really no such fucking thing as a failure. Like, something either fails and you learn from it, or something fails and you don't learn from it. And it's a choice which path that we go on. So if you choose to look at something as if it's a failure, then it's going to be a failure. But it's all about your perspective and like what you're focusing on. And I know that it's very common, especially in the generation that I'm in. It's common that whenever you want to do something that's not the same path as your parents love to talk you out of it. And their intention isn't ill-placed. It's not like they want us to not pursue our dreams because they don't want us to pursue our dreams. They want us to choose the safe path because they care about our well-being and our safety, and they just aren't sure about something working out because they haven't seen it work out for them. So I just want to share that too, because maybe 3 years ago I would have taken what my dad said really personally. I would have taken it as a direct hit to my heart. And whenever he said that, I just was like in my mind saying, that's just your perspective. And I'm so glad that I've done the inner work and the shadow work to reach that conclusion and understand that anything that my dad thinks isn't a reflection about me. It's not personal to me. It's just how he thinks and how his brain works and how he views life. So if you have family members or a dad or anyone who you feel doesn't believe in you, try to not take it personally and just realize that that's their viewpoint, and unless they want to change it, they're not going to. So yeah, that's really what I have. And yeah, I just want to share, hopefully, this so that people can heal their father wounds and do the shadow work that's associated with it. And if you have someone in your life that you feel doesn't believe in you, don't use it as fuel, but not fuel as in the sense of, oh, well, fuck them, I'm going to make it happen. You have a viewpoint of compassion, like see it through the lens of compassion and be like, gosh, I'm so sorry that you don't see that could work. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to show my son that it's possible to live a life of your dreams by pursuing what you love. That's like my main focus. And then a bonus would be, oh, I get to change my dad's perspective on, and my family's perspective, the people that, aren't really, that don't see my vision the way I do, which they shouldn't have to. So I just want to make that clear too. Like, it's not about fuck the haters. It's having compassion for the people that don't see it, and being excited to show them that it actually is possible. So hope that helps.